Hello, YouTube. Activist on roids. Kryptonite for conservatives here. Yada yada yada. You know the drill. I decided to make a quick video in regards to some of my Hillary supporting friends. Some of the things they've said. I know I'm basically going to be repeating some of the same shit I've said in my earlier two videos. But what the hell, you know? It's bad enough that the DNC and Hillary's surrogates are coming after us. It's another thing entirely. When the supporters that voted for her in the primary come after us and try to make us out to be a bunch of fucking animals, like to make us out to be a bunch of malcontents, just because we stood up for our rights, we stood up for our right to have our vote counted, because we're angry that our vote was marginalized. You know, they've thrown everything they could at us since January, desperately trying to get something to stick. But in the end, they were the ones with egg on their face. They were the ones left with egg on their faces. If at least one Hillary supporter on my personal friends list on any of the social media sites that I use would just flat out admit that they were complicit in aiding the establishment's efforts to marginalize us, I'd at least forgive that person. I'd forgive any of those people if they would just admit it, in light of the 19,000 emails, in light of the fact that in the emails, the Hillary camp, that her surrogates at the DNC, her lapdogs, were planning on going after both our revolution and after brand new Congress. That is organizations that we founded specifically to go after the so-called New Democrats, the corporatists. Yeah, they're planning on going after us long term, of stamping us out. No, they try to change the subject any way they can by saying, "Oh, those damn Russians, those damn Russians." But at the same time, they don't want to acknowledge the wrongdoing. You know, they keep turning it around on us and decrying us as childish just because we're angry about very real wrongdoing toward us, the supporters. Again, it's one thing to go after the candidate that you dislike. It's another thing to badmouth him. It's another thing entirely when you have groups like Correct the Record, and David Brock and all these other jackasses attacking us on social media. You know, hell, one of my Hillary supporting friends insinuated that we were being arrogant because we wouldn't allow them to change the subject, because we wouldn't let them weasel their way out of it. When you screw someone over, the victim has every right to hold you accountable. What part of that do they not get? So, to recap, according to these people, since January, they've called us sexist, racist, childish, liars, arrogant. Let's see, what else? Yeah, I'm reading from a transcript here. Spoiled, entitled, or cultish. A true sign of a piece of shit is when they denigrate the people they've wronged whenever they're caught red-handed in the act, or when they are complicit in that wrongdoing, and they denigrate the victims. They denigrate the people that they've hurt, that they've marginalized, that they've gone after. You know. Then there are the ones who keep harping about how we won't let it go or let it die. It's just, these are the ones, aside from the ones that try to blame the fucking victim here, the very thing that they themselves bitch about when Republicans fucking do it. Just like the rest of us, they bitch about it when Republicans do it. But when they do it and they're caught on it, they'll turn around and fucking blame the victim themselves. You know, they don't want to accept responsibility. They don't want to be held to a higher standard. You don't get to automatically play the whole let it die, just let it die, or let it go card. Like what? Less than 12 hours after you've been caught doing it? No! There's no introspection going on here. Nothing. They just think they can just walk off into the sunset and have us just merely accept the fact that we were targeted, that we were deliberately fucked over. Because of the way Hillary supporters have acted in light of the 19,000 emails, and believe me, the people who leaked those emails, they're preparing to leak something from what I've heard, from what I've read on the internet, that will quite literally, well, that according to them will put Hillary in prison or whatever. But you know what? If the server thing didn't fucking do it, then I sure as hell don't think this will do it either. I mean, in the emails, you know, they leaked that they had that the DNC had gone to the president of MSNBC, what's his face, because of something that was said on Morning Joe, and what it says here is that they have taken MSNBC and have made it the arm not of Democrats in general, not of progressives, but of corporate New Democrats, corporate DLC third way types. We have been played. We have been screwed over, and they still want us to just get in line and use the fact that Trump is a fascist to scare us into just putting up with their bullshit, to scare us, to basically to distract us from, at the very least, distract us from all the shit that they've done. And the thing is, we're not going quietly into that good night. We're not going to put up with this. There will never be party unity from this day forward. From this day forward, because they have been revealed to be conspiring against us, not just for this year, but into the foreseeable future, against any movement that we might organize against the corruption, and because her supporters have actively been complicit in it, there will never be peace again. There will never be unity. There will never be peace. We will not stop until they have been swept into the dustbin of history, until we run the DNC, until we either run the Democratic Party or the Democratic Party breaks because of what they have done to us. Fuck the whole Donald, it's if you don't vote for us, Donald Trump will this. No, fuck that shit. It's not happening. You're not playing that card. You don't get to play that card, Mr. Hillary supporter and Mrs. Hillary supporter. You don't get to play that card after all the shit that you've done to us. After all the shit that your boss did to us, and after all the shit that you were complicit in, and after all the fucking water you've carried for them against us. Never again. Never again. We know what your asses are capable of, and we know what your bosses and your leaders are capable of, and what the surrogates are capable of, and we know what you're capable of deluding yourselves into in the service of groupthink when trying to rationalize fucking us over. No, never again. You're being held to a standard from here on out, whether you like it or not. I don't give a shit about your comfort zone. Fuck you, Hillary supporters. Fuck you to anyone who calls themselves a progressive who ever got behind this bitch and fell victim to the politics of fear. As FDR once said, fear, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. If you've forgotten this one important tenet of modern liberalism, then you ain't no goddamn progressive. You're nothing to us. I'm Active Asshole on roids. Peace the fuck out.